President Vladimir Putin ordered Thursday an increase in the size of his country's military by 137,000 troops. The move comes as his forces seem to have got bogged down in Ukraine and have not been able to make significant progress for some time now. The new order calls for boosting the number of Russia's available combat personnel from 1.01 million to 1.15 million and is set to go into effect on January 1st, 2023. The decree did not specify how the troop increase would be achieved. Russia could, for instance, pursue a larger draft of conscripts or look for ways to increase volunteer service. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why President Putin has ordered an increase in the size of the Russian army. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. Use the code DEFENSE at the checkout to get an extra month free for the 2-year plan. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Putin's decree comes one day after his war in Ukraine hit its 6-month mark on Wednesday. Prior to Russia's late February invasion, over 150,000 troops had gathered along the Ukrainian border. While many observers have thought that Kyiv would fall within a week or so, things haven't turned out to be like that. The fight has now turned into a tough war of attrition, and both sides are sustaining heavy losses as the situation drags onto a slow-moving and bloody campaign in eastern and southern Ukraine. Kremlin has been selective when it comes to reporting the losses its forces have suffered, and statements regarding casualty figures appear inconsistent with realities on the ground. Ukraine's top general, meanwhile, said the country has lost an estimated 9,000 troops since the war began, though it's possible that number could be higher given the nature of the situation. Pentagon official Colin Kahl, the Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel, stated that Russia lost 70,000 to 80,000 troops since the onset of the war on Ukraine. During a press briefing, he said the exact figures may vary, but the figures shared with the press are in the ballpark. UK Defense Minister Ben Wallace said on August 24th that Russia is in a very fragile position. Wallace told BBC Radio 4's Today program, "We pretty much accept, we do accept, the sort of observations of Russian losses to be, if you combine deaths, injuries, desertions, over 80,000 of their armed forces. That's 80,000 in 6 months, compared to 15,000 they lost in a decade in Afghanistan." Given the situation that Russia has not been able to gain superiority and Ukraine has continued to receive Western support, the invasion is not going to be easy for Russia going forward. We need to remember here that for an attacking force, the ratio must be at least 3-1 in its favor. So it's clear that Russia needs more boots on the ground if President Putin wants to keep pushing forward. The new troops could consist of volunteers, conscripts, or both, and could represent a throwback to the larger conscript-heavy army that Russia had before the 2008 Serdyukov reforms. But it's to be noted that just adding troops will not solve the problem. They have to be equipped with weapons and other war materials. Also, raising new battalions without experienced officers may make them ineffective in battle. It remains to be seen how things pan out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.